But first tonight, it is harvest time across Maine, and farmers and gardeners have been busy bringing in their crops. Some farms have been harvesting all summer, getting vegetables to market, but one of those farms has a unique market and mission to help feed those who struggle to afford to feed themselves. 207's Don Kerrigan has the story of Twin Villages Foodbank Farm and the two women who created it.
On a drizzly morning, fresh vegetables light up the food pantry at Newcastle's Congregational Church.
A little bit of everything this time of year. We have summer squash, kale, beets, carrots.
Sarah Cawthorn knows all of these veggies firsthand. She grew them together with the team at Twin Villages Foodbank Farm.
And every 2 weeks we harvest 600 bed row feet of beets.
Wow.
Yep.
Sarah and Megan Taft started the farm 8 years ago, teaming up with Coastal Rivers Conservation Trust, which owns this land above the Damariscotta River.
We plant from May 1st till August 20th. Yeah, every week there's plenty of plants to go in the ground.
And from the start, it's been a nonprofit farm dedicated to growing produce for local food pantries. 8 pantries across Lincoln County now share in the bounty, like the one in Newcastle, where we were told the fresh vegetables make a real difference.
I can't stress enough how great it is to have this beautiful farm fresh food. Our clients just love it.
These crops flourish here in part because of a loyal crew of volunteers who help with everything from soil prep to planting to, on this day, picking peppers.
Because I've been gardening my whole life, and 2, I love growing food, and 3, Sarah's got such a great program here.
You're giving to people. You're giving good things to people, and it's great to share and provide.
And Twin Villages Foodbank Farm did not happen by chance. Sarah and Megan met in this area more than 20 years ago, left for graduate school, then worked on farms in other states before moving back to Lincoln County with a big idea.
Fast forward 8 years, the idea that we had in our head to really just have this farm that was supported by the community and for the community, this is exactly what we imagined it would be.
Sarah manages the farm. Megan works for Good Shepherd Food Bank and also handles the farm's development and outreach efforts. And the money to run all this, for equipment, supplies, and everything else, it's all donated.
I would say half comes from grants and foundations, and a lot of those are main family foundations that focus on food and agriculture. And then the other half, we are supported by community.
All coming from those who believe in this farm's mission.
We have donors who actually span across the entire country at this point, which is always surprising to me.
Really? Many people may think this part of Maine is financially well off, but as the food pantries show, there are still plenty of people around here who need help.
What they're seeing in terms of growth is new families and younger families, and I think that what we have to understand is poverty doesn't always look like the story that we tell ourselves.
In other words, they say this farm's crops really matter.
Hunger in Maine is unique in that we're such rural communities that there's a lot of hunger that exists down long dirt roads that people never see. So the question of whether we even know the full extent of the need.
So they keep growing. Increased support has allowed the farm to hire a few paid workers like Kelsey Kirkpatrick.
What a perfect job. I get to grow all this food and give it away.
This has been a tough year for all farmers because of so much rain.
We couldn't plant as much as we wanted. We probably planted 5 to 10% less because the ground was so muddy. So we couldn't always plant the amount we had planned on. But the stuff that did get in the ground is thriving. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's got to feel good.
It does feel good, yes. We've got huge harvest.
For everyone at this farm, providing that harvest seems to define the old saying about a labor of love.
Food is love, so you give this beautiful produce to people, and I think it lifts them up.
Harvest time means the cabbages are stacked and waiting for delivery. The onions are drying in a local greenhouse. The winter squash and the carrots and other storage crops are still growing waiting their turn.
Last year was our biggest year with produce, so we grew about 45,000 pounds.
And just yesterday I was thinking, wouldn't it be wonderful if we didn't need this farm? And how can that happen? But until it does, being here is a really useful thing to do.
The red ones on the first 3 rows.
Useful indeed, and on its way, they believe, to becoming a true community institution.
I don't think we ever realized how big this community would step up to make this farm become what it has. It has been very humbling and very gratifying, and it just makes me really proud to live here.
This idea of raising food and sharing it has clearly found a fertile place to grow.
Twin Villages Foodbank Farm hopes to be supplying local food banks in Lincoln County until the end of December. And the farm's founders say their basic idea could be a model for other places to follow, but they also say it would need to be a community like those in the Damariscotta area where there are enough people, groups, and businesses willing to provide financial support.